Hello, everyone. This is WGM Sabina Foisor. Very excited to be back here on US Chess Twitch channel. We are having this promotional stream in order to let you know about an exciting event that's going to take place at the SuperNationals. The first National Puzzle Championship is going to be organized together with ChessKid, and it is my pleasure to be joined by my co-host, National Master Bryan Tillis, but we also have a special guest, Women's International Master Ivette, and Ivette is going to take us a little bit through how this tournament has come about and what everyone should know about it. It's really my pleasure to introduce Ivette García Morales, who's the director of ChessKid Spanish. Ivette, thanks for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you very much. First of all, thank you for inviting me to this live broadcast with you, Bryan and Sabina, promoting the SuperNationals. And I'm very, very excited about activities that ChessKid will have during this important event for all the children and younger. So yeah, we're going to have this US Chess National Puzzle Championship on Thursday, May 8th. So it's co-organized by US Chess and also ChessKid. It's going to be at 3 p.m. on Thursday, remember. So it's going to be a very, very nice and exciting and funny event. As I told you before, chess is my second family. As you, Sabina and Bryan, you know this feeling. So we're gonna have like a ton of things there. So we take place over 1 hour. However, only 15 minutes of actual puzzle solving, and we're gonna have two sections: K6 and K7 to 12. And all age are welcome, okay? This is very important to tell. And in order to compete, we have, and I have some points here, like to tell you guys, is like you must have your own device connected to the internet, like a tablet, a phone, or laptop. And also you need to have download the ChessKid app. It is very important, like to download the ChessKid app. And also, if you already have a ChessKid account, you must log out, because we are going to provide like a ChessKid account for this event. Okay, it's going to be a gold account for this 8 days, like to solve puzzles, to play chess, kid games, and whatever. So we're going to provide this ChessKid account. And then we will give the children only 15 minutes to solve puzzles as they can, okay? Solve puzzles as many as they can. And then we will then display a leaderboard to show who solves the most puzzles. And, well, Fun Master Mike, he's gonna be there, like making some, Fun Master Mike.
That's right. We know him. We know him. The kids know him.
Yeah. And also we're gonna have more ChessKid activities during the SuperNationals. We're gonna have a Fun Master Mike meet and greet. It's going to be on Saturday, I think, this event. And also, we are planning like to have a ChessKid Kahoot Trivia Challenge hosted by me and also by Fun Master Mike. It's like a kind of trivia about history in chess and also US chess history and some puzzles, activities. And yeah, it's going to be like very, very funny challenge. And also we're gonna have special prizes there in this activity, and obviously we're gonna have a ChessKid stand with some activities. I'm gonna play chess games there, blitz, rapid games, and also Fun Master Mike, he's gonna be there like playing some games and some activities. So I'm very happy and very excited for this event. And thank you again, US Chess, for the opportunity to be there with you. And I'm very, very excited. And see you there, Chess Kids.
No, this is exciting, Yvette. I want to know a bit more though. So just to make sure everyone gets this good idea of how the tournament is going to take place, because maybe ChessKid has had puzzle competitions and tournaments between kids happening online, or maybe kids playing against some of the top grandmasters in the US. But this one is basically all about puzzles, and you said they have 15 minutes, right? You're giving them account. You said 8 days they will have this gold account. After
Yeah.
that, it will resume to like a normal kind of
Yeah,
account.
they can use they can use this account after this event because we're gonna provide a few days like as gold membership because during the event, like it's very important to solve puzzles, to analyze your games and everything. So yeah, the idea is like to provide a chess kit account and also a gold membership, and they can do like some training after the event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's exciting, because I think what ChessKid is doing is just being able to provide interactive lessons, and it's a safe and fun and educational environment for kids. Just even if they don't know about this, they can get that account. And everyone should know you can train in advance, of course, because the SuperNationals is 1 month away, so you got 1 month to train as many puzzles as possible. Because from what I'm understanding from you, Yvette, is that they start from zero, and the way you're gonna grade them, you're gonna make the leaderboard is based on the way that they like the highest level that they get to, right? The highest rating that they get to in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the many puzzles as they can. So, if, for example, if a kid solve in this 15 minutes, like, I don't know, like 56 or 60 puzzles, that happen like a lot. So, he's going to be like the number one, like the idea is like to solve puzzles as they can
Nice.
in
Nice.
15. Yeah.
Do you is there any other specific advice that you can give some of the kids who are excited about this opportunity, and other than training on the website? Do you think if they actually train on the website is going to help them have some, I don't know,
Or
plus compared to other people who maybe do it on some other website, or just do it from books, or
Yeah, of course. Like online and OTV training is like a kind of different,
Mhm,
so we about it
of
in
course.
Brian. So my advice is like start like to solve puzzles online on ChessKid, and you can have this moment like a ton of training to start it like and to solve many puzzles as you can. So yeah, so I'm very excited. Like sometimes happen to me when I'm like in one tournament, like I see some kids like they was in other tournament and say, "Hey man, hi, how are you?" And I learn some words in Spanish because I'm Mexican and I speak Spanish, so my first language is Spanish. And sometimes they come over and they say like, "Hola, cómo estás?" I learned some Spanish words, and this is very nice. So I can wait to see you there, guys. And yeah, so
What can they expect, Yvette, for the top prizes? Can you share what can they expect to win if
I
they?
can share.
Yeah.
I can share a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay. Cross fingers with a fun master. Maybe he is there. Well, I hope so. No.
If you're
Okay.
allowed, if you're allowed, I don't want to get you
Well,
in trouble. I was just.
uh, trophies. We're like planning like to give some trophies
Hmm.
and also some swag like a merch, chesskit merch.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Nice.
so that's our previous prizes we're gonna have.
Awesome. Well, I hope to see some of the kids, even who are, not close to the sixth grade, but those who are in first grade. I hope they also consider going and competing,
Yeah,
because I think it's kind of, a nice opportunity to see how it is to experience it the first time, and then have the opportunity to join in
yeah.
later. Brian, would you like to ask any additional questions. I don't want to.
Yeah, I've been actively thinking about this because typically side events at a national championship, you'll have Bug House, you'll have Blitz, and that's also happening on Thursday at SuperNationals. But those tournaments don't normally add to the main event and helping you. Whereas what I really love about the first national puzzle competition is that famous quote, chess is 99% tactics. You are actively working on something that's going to help you for the tournament itself. It gets you sharp, gets you in shape. So as soon as I first heard about it, I thought it was an absolutely fantastic idea and wanted to jump on it immediately. I would say for my students, one of the recommendations I've made to them is to use the device that you're training on to be your device that you're competing on in the event. Because if you get used to using the mouse and then you have to use a touchpad on a phone or a device, it's going to throw you off a bit. And I do think, based on the rules, there's some strategy, if I understand, that it doesn't matter how many you get wrong. This isn't like Puzzle Rush where 3 strikes and you're out. If you get a problem that, say, you don't necessarily like or you feel you're taking too much time, you can skip it and go to a next problem. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, is that correct? Like, as I said before, like as many puzzles as you can. Like that's the key, And yeah, I totally agree 100% with you, Brian. Like, please, like my advice is like try to solve puzzles in the same device you're gonna use in this event. So yeah, 100%.
And maybe also make sure that the internet works well on that device. Like as soon
Yeah.
as you arrive there, make sure you test the connection. And how are you going to have all those kids, Yvette? Is there a specific room provided? Maybe both you and Brian can answer this, but like, what if I don't know how many kids are already registered? Maybe you guys can give more details, one of you, about that, and how will they all or do they come in separate at separate times?
Yeah, there'll be more information about the connection itself as we get closer to time. That's definitely logistically we're still working on that to make sure it's more ironclad. But what I would recommend is to make sure that you have a secondary Wi-Fi device, like a hotspot on mom or dad's phone, for instance, connected to the device. So if something happens, you have a backup. That's going to
Yeah.
be very important because there's going to be so many people on the Wi-Fi. Having a secondary is something that I would highly recommend.
Yeah, that's fair. That's yeah, I think that could be a question people would have. And I actually created a comment for Yvette. Yvette, if you don't mind me sharing, I put your email on it to share with everyone. If you don't mind, if you have additional questions, hopefully things that are not already that we already went over. May I share your bio and an email, Yvette?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. Yes, please. In case you have like some question about this event or about ChessKid in general, please just send me an email, and it's gonna be my pleasure, like to send you a good response. Yeah.
And as you all could see, Yvette is very nice and very excited to share as much as she can, both from her, cultural background and, Spanish language, but also chess. She's a women's international master, and she's been working for ChessKid for how many years now, Yvette?
Now almost 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah. 5 years, yeah. I started like 5 years ago. I started like the chess kid Spanish because we had in this 5 years ago we had like zero Spanish in ChessKid, and now we are like 100% translation in ChessKid. A lot of tools are in Spanish, so we have ambassadors in different countries around the Spanish-speaking countries, and yeah, so I'm very happy. Seriously, like to be here and to be part of this team. We are still growing. But it's my pleasure like to work for chess and work for ChessKid. Yeah, so I'm very very happy and excited.
Well, we're very excited. We're very excited to have
Yeah,
you, Bryan.
yeah.
Anything else that we forgot to address to ask Yvette?
I think we just about got it. Just overall, I'm really excited about SuperNationals VIII, and we're gradually seeing more and more students sign up. And there are still spots available in the puzzle competition. So don't hesitate to grab one of those spots because the title of national champion is on the line for both sections. And that's something to really highlight too when talking about prizes, that you will be crowned a national champion by winning this competition.
Yeah, and hopefully it's gonna go well, and we'll have more because that's what all is about. The starting part is often difficult, but then being able to continue, and we'll always I know there's always going to be ways to try to improve and make it even better. So I really hope it goes well. I will not be there in person to experience this, but I'll definitely be checking out social media. You can always follow chess.com, ChessKid, Yvette, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of posts about how the tournament is going. Of course, US Chess, check out US Chess on all social media accounts, and I'll be making announcements from afar on Twitch. But I cannot wait to hear, to get all the news out to everyone who who might not be there, just how this tournament is happening. And yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
exciting.
Thank you very much for the good vibe, Sabina.
Well, Yvette, we really appreciated you being here. Bryan and I, we wanted to show everyone how we ourselves get to test a little bit our tactics knowledge. And I believe my ChessKid account, I have a kids account actually. So we'll start, I believe, from zero. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I was told that my account has been reset to zero. I don't know, Yvette, if you can check that before you you might need to leave. But our plan is to continue solving puzzles and kind of getting everyone through the process of how ChessKid works. You can set up all your background and colors and everything. Make sure you do those, by the way, because you don't want at the start of the puzzle to get distracted by anything. Make sure that you get the right kind of board. Color themes, I love purple if it's not obvious already. So I chose the purple, but get a color that you like to make, because that's important too when you're solving tactics. If you get distracted by the pieces or by something else, right? Am I completely going crazy here, or do you guys agree?
Oh no, I completely agree. One of the first things I do, and you can fill in the blank on different chess server, I will go and get the color scheme that I like and the pieces that I like that I'm used to. So I wholeheartedly agree. Definitely set that up in advance in your settings.
And
We have a kind of memory because like when you solve puzzles with the same color, board color and the same pieces, like you have like a kind of memory. You can see like more. It's like I can explain that, but it's like a kind of memory, you know?
that's right. Yeah, that's true. I feel sometimes, and I know this, maybe some people will disagree with me, but I know some people really love 3D pieces on a 2D screen. But for me personally, it does not work very well. So actually, my account was set up for 3D pieces, and I made sure first thing I figured out how to change, and it's not difficult actually. You can click on the settings. You have a settings button on the left side of the screen, and then you basically just need to go to the
Theme? Mhm.
theme, right? And for
Yes,
theme,
theme.
you can select the background, but then you can also change for I think if you want for play, you need to click on play and then select your the board that you want. You can select the piece style, the board style. You can have animation or not. If that's bothering you, you can definitely turn that off. And I think that's, and aside from this, there are quite a few videos that you can find on ChessKid that will take you through a few additional settings related things, but also, of course, I think this is very important to do for everyone. That was wonderful. I hope we touched on a lot of important topics. Of course, I'm sure we forgot something, possibly, or maybe not. But we at least got quite a bit of questions answered by Ivette, and we have an idea of how this tournament is going to take place. And I'm super excited that this tournament takes place because I want to see it in person. You often see it online, but in person, getting to see other kids be there and compete. And I don't know, I think it's going to be cool, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And as we were talking about before, I'm a big fan of the training and being able to do an activity before the competition that I have my students doing anyway to warm up. You can't brag on it enough, the idea.
But okay, the first position that we have, let's get started. It's is this mate. Whenever you're pushing or getting rid of your F pawn, you always have to be careful that an opponent will not get their queen close by. This one is quite simple, and we got 600 points for that. So let's move on, Bryan.
Yeah, and this next problem, I mean, with all tactics, we look at checks, captures, but threats first.
Yes.
And here that I see no checks, I immediately look at captures, and it looks like we can grab that E4 knight for free with no consequences, and I think we should.
We should, yes. All right, we will have some easy ones, obviously, at the beginning, and this is something that the kids can expect too. When you start a new account, it's going to assume that you are quite at the start of your chess. So there are specific themes that you might want to be familiar with. Mate in one is definitely one of them, and this seems to be the recurring pattern for now. So we see that king is restricted by the pawn, white's pawn, and also black's pawn. So we're just going to go and checkmate it. I think it looks
in
good.
this position. I'm back to that concept of checks, captures, threats. And the very first thing that I notice from the puzzles that I've done for a long time here is, yes, that king and queen, nice and lined up. And I like free stuff. And I'm looking at that H pawn to be able to play knight takes H4 and fork the king and queen and pick up heavy material here.
Yeah. So, what I like to tell my students to do, and obviously when you're going to prepare for a competition, this might not be something you do. This is an advice that I want to give everyone for chess improvement in general. When you're solving tactics, don't only look at the specific tactical idea that you think might need to happen in that position. Just make sure you take your time and understand that what is happening on the board. Because when you're playing a game, nobody's going to be there and stop you and say, hey, stop, think, you got something going on here. So you will have to figure it out yourself. And in order to do that, you really need to make sure that you have some knowledge of the things happening on the board. So here, for example, when you look at this position, I want you guys to try to notice that there's a material imbalance, right? White has a queen, we have a rook and a pawn for that. We are down material. So, okay, normally this is not looking very good for us. So the only way we're going to be able to do something is if we can trick them with some idea. In this case, white's struggling with the back rank issue. So we're going to go with the rook on the back rank, and this is going to be a checkmate. But it was important for you to understand that, because when you play, you might consider resigning because you're down material. But no, you should not do that, right, Bryan? Would you agree?
Anytime there's any fight left in the position, definitely give 100%. And we have another material imbalance here, a big one with queen and rook versus two rooks and a bishop. But this is another one of those situations where the power of the bishop cutting off key squares where the black king cannot retreat, it's a bit of a tomb. And we just need one more attacker here, and we can push the C rook one square forward for checkmate.
That's right, and then we'll take that. And by the way, we have a couple of people who joined us, and of course, Yvette. I guess Yvette was in the chat also. Thank you so much for having joined us. If you're still here, we appreciate you. And PlaySmart Kentucky, great to see you here as well. All right, and feel free to let us know where you're watching from, or if you're gonna compete in the SuperNationals, or you have any kids that might, or if you're considering. Another reason why Bryan and I are streaming today is to also remind everyone that on Monday, the entry fee for the SuperNationals, it goes up by, I believe, $150. So if you haven't registered yet, this is the time. If you know someone who hasn't, make sure you remind them to do so, because the price does go up. We have, again, material imbalance, and we're gonna go for the back rank mate. This was my turn, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We have another situation here where the black king is starting to look limited on squares. And we have the rook and the pawn doing a great job cutting off a lot of the squares. And it reminds me of that staircase checkmate concept with the two heavy pieces. And seeing this pattern, I want to add another check, starting with that thinking process of checks, captures, threats, to play rook d6. And the king is further running out of squares once we play it. Num the rook, and looks good enough for this one.
It won't let me move further, but
oh yeah,
I'm just gonna show it with arrows. We have a few easy ones right now, guys. We'll get to the tough ones, I think, very soon. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, never mind. I was enjoying your explanations. Okay, so Bryan mentioned earlier that it is important to focus on checks and captures first, indeed, when you see a position. That's not something I do, though, because, I'm I have a different mindset, I guess. Like I told you, like to evaluate the position first. So the first thing I notice is that white is up a knight, but also white's king is weak. It does not have this pawn in g2 that's doing a great job at keeping the king protected. Instead, white has these double pawns and this pawn in h3 that is not protected. So we are immediately, to me, what I'm looking at, can white do anything to my own king? Does he have or she have any checks, any attacks on my king? If not, then I'm going to come up with some idea to attack his. I don't see any checks that are going to be devastating for black, so we're going to go for queen takes this pawn in h3. And the idea was we're going to checkmate them in h1. This is white's only response to try to avoid the mate. And if you happen to play yourselves, make sure you consider, if you are in a difficult situation where mate is feeling unavoidable, look for ways to maybe sacrifice some material. Maybe you can hold on a bit longer. Especially at lower levels, this works quite well.
Here, very first thing to register is we are in check. And how to get out of check is always, how is the most aggressive way to get out of it is the first thing I think of here. And that makes me want to just take the rook with the queen. And in the meantime, black's king's got a bit of a problem stuck on the back rank here. That's checkmate.
That's right. And if you don't mind me sharing this, this is something I learned at the camp when I was teaching a camp and teaching a lot of kids who were close to beginner level. One of the coaches, one of my actually assistants, had this acronym for figuring out how to escape a check. Now, this is not going to work for people who are advanced. I mean, you don't do that. But for kids who are just starting, and if you happen to be a parent who's trying to teach your own kids to learn to play chess, it was this acronym that I liked, and hopefully I'm okay to say it on stream. CPR. Do you know what CPR stands for, Bryan? No, not that. No. Like in chess.
I mean, I know like the resuscitation,
Yeah, I don't know.
Another one bites the dust. I know that one.
Okay, yes. So when someone is, you're resuscitating them. However, in chess, CPR stands for capture, protect, run away. These three things. And I think it's really nice, especially when you teach younger kids, to find things that they're gonna remember. It's a fun. It's not a fun story to describe, but it's something that they might take and remember how to react when they're in check, because oftentimes people have the tendency to want to move the king. In fact, today I was helping out at the Kentucky Women's Championship. Right before coming on stream, I literally arrived like 20 minutes before that, and some girl was in check and she moved her king. And I told her that she was maybe 12 years old and had started recently. And I felt like she was so excited that now she knew how to escape a check, not only feeling that she has to move the king. So look for ways to capture first the piece that checks you, then see if you can put something in between, and only lastly think about how to run away, because it's I don't know, I think like it could save some games. So in this position, obviously the material is better for black, but I immediately notice the king and the queen staying on a tactical motif, a check queen or a fork, and that jumped to me immediately. When you're doing a lot of forks, you are going to start noticing this. Is the kind of geometrical idea that you want to know. If you like a bit of math and geometry, those ideas you probably would enjoy.
In this position, that evaluation concept that Sabina was talking about is very important. And in almost every problem, we're down a large amount of material. So you've got to look for something to get you back in the game. And this is what I tell my students very frequently, that chess and boxing have a lot of overlap, in the sense that if you're only defending, you can never win. So always starting with that aggressive concept of where's the check, where's the capture, where's the threat. And here, the first check, the only check in the position, is what really sticks out. Rook A8, where white has limited options here, with either blocking with the bishop, which we're going to follow up and take, or going king B1, where we're going to follow up with rook A1, checkmate.
And once again, as in a previous position, Bryan gets these tactical ideas with the bishop. What's your favorite piece, Bryan?
Oh, knight, 100%.
Really?
I'm very much with Tal, with the quote, "Without knights, there are no tactics." And it takes a lot of the fun of the game when you don't have the knights.
Okay, that I didn't know that knight is your favorite piece too. I just learned a new thing. I have to fix this. Apologies. I'm trying to make it easier for you to see these.
I appreciate that. Being able to see, definitely important.
It's my turn anyway, so I guess you can catch in case I make a mistake or something. Okay, so we are down a queen in this position. We have 2 minor pieces and 2 pawns for the queen. So technically, material-wise, we're not doing too bad, right? That's 8 pawns or points. So we could consider giving a check here, but if we do, the king is gonna run away, and this rook is actually protected, so we're not really winning much. But once again, like I told you earlier, we're gonna look for geometry, and this move forks the king and the queen. And oh, did I click? I forgot to take the queen. I'm sorry. I clicked next. I'm so sorry. I forgot to take.
That doesn't count.
I didn't mean to. I thought it was over. So I click next.
So as a note in the puzzle competition, for those who are competing and watching, if you click the next button instead of checkmate, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count. Fine. I will solve one more position because that did not count. So in this position, white is threatening a very unpleasant checkmate over here, with similar to the opera game. If you guys don't know that game, that might be one you might want to check out. So we're going to checkmate him first. All right, now it's correct. It's solved. It's good. We're going to the next one. Bryan, your turn.
Well, loose pieces drop off, but one thing that really sticks out is the danger of that A7 pawn becoming a queen. So I look at this and say, checks first. My bishop can take the knight, but I've got time for my bishop to come back to stop that pawn from promoting. And let's go ahead and grab that knight with check.
Yeah, the fact that this check is very important. Sometimes we forget to look for checks. Now, here we're starting to get still positions in one move, but the themes are slowly improving, as I can see, or getting a bit more difficult. For example, here you're actually utilizing two themes. So far, I feel that we've seen one theme. There was a fork, there's a back rank mate. Now we're going to utilize two themes, and that's why it's important to try to look at as many themes or motifs as possible, like geometrical patterns on how the pieces are placed and how you're going to win them. Fork is one that we've seen before, but what we didn't see is a pin. A pin is when a specific piece is not going to be able to move from its location because there's something behind it that is more valuable that's going to be captured. In this case, something more valuable that's going to be captured is the king, which means it's illegal to make that move. That's why we're going to play this move knight to b4, which creates a check queen. And the pawn couldn't take because this queen was getting opened to attack white's king. That's why that move had to be played. And now we get to win the queen. So two themes, important. I want to see actually if there's some kind of pattern, maybe that could give a little bit of hints to those who may be competing in the tournament. I think we are excited. The more people join us, the more people join the stream, the more people want to learn about the events that US Chess is organizing, specifically this one because it's a huge. The SuperNationals only happens every 4 years. And it's going to attract kids from so many places around the United States, and all of them will be competing in the same place. So, the fact that they get to compete in this one too, I hope we can give them a little bit of hints on how to solve maybe better, hopefully.
The king and the rook are kind of on this alignment that we've seen a few times now. With what's the check? We've got a check in the position. The knight's going to attack both the king and the rook. And the other consideration that I have is, do we have enough time to stop these two menacing pawns? And thankfully, the rook has plenty of time as we capture knight takes c1 to be able to come back and get the job done.
That's true. And the knight is hanging as well.
As a bonus, yes.
Yeah. Moving on to the next position here, Black's last move was rook to g5, attacking the queen. And of course, you want to think where you're going to move it. But previously, very likely, whatever White's last move was, possibly bringing the queen to f5, had the threat of capturing this knight. And Black, having played this move, probably forgot to look at White's threat. That's something also very big that you want to remember to do. So here, White can simply capture the knight. After queen takes, we recapture, and we're good to go.
And I also want to really highlight the fact that I appreciate the dancing pawn in the background.
Okay.
We haven't gotten one wrong yet. Does he have a misery situation that he does if we get one wrong?
Do you want to get one wrong?
I kind of want to play knight takes a4 here to make a mistake.
Okay, just
to see if he gets upset with us.
Okay, all right, let's make it. The correct move, though, for everyone is going to be knight d1. Brian kind of gets the same position as before, which is kind of unfair, so we're gonna... Oh no, we lost 24
he does.
rating points.
He is completely unsatisfied with us, and 24 points down.
That's a lot. That's a lot of points.
We've been gaining like 5, so...
I
kind of feel
know.
bad I made this recommendation now.
Someone might clip this, Brian, and just be like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe former U.S. Women's Champion and National Master Bryan Tillis played the move knight takes to a4. What is wrong?" How
I
could
mean, they're going to be as disgusted as our pawn friend is.
Okay. So, oh, but wait, there's an answer. So let's see if, oh no, we can do retry. If we retry, do we actually get points is the question. We should test that. We got it correct. But no, we did not get, wait, do we get? I think did we get points? How much did we have earlier? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mess up another one, Brian, just for you to see.
Hey, you got to have fun and test it sometimes.
Of course,
But
of course.
that's another game mechanic there that I find interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the look of ChessKid website is really nice, and you can set up the board very normally the way you have it on a bunch of other websites where you might be using for training. So you have a nice thing. So for this one, we are just gonna look at back rank. This is just one theme kind of position. Checkmate in 2. Only 5 points for that one. We're gonna have to solve 3 or 4, or maybe even more, 4 or 5, in order to get our rating back, Brian.
Yeah. Here, I'm looking at knight e4 to hit both the queen and the bishop. And as the queen likely moves, we nom the bishop in 17. All right.
All right. We got them back. We're good. All right. We can try to solve some of these easier ones a bit faster now, just to kind of get to the tougher ones. But this one, we're going to go for the 4 key, and we're going to take the rook. Okay, let's get to, at least 1,000.
Okay. Yeah. Queen c5 check. Looks like it's going to hit the bishop as well as the king. And
17 points.
Good
67.
enough.
That's a good number. All right. So what have we got here? And you might have positions that, you stumble or you stop for a little bit because, you're not sure what's going to happen. For example, here, this move comes naturally to give the check, although your knight is hanging. So if you start with the check, the knight won't be able to be captured. And now you're asked the question, okay, what do you do next? Because you could give queen h1 check, or you could give rook h1 check. Which one of those two is better? I don't see, after I give the rook to h1 check, king comes to g3. I don't see anything else that I can do after. So I'm gonna go with the queen. And what, they solved it? That was it? Okay, that's a bit suspicious. I feel like they could have put a couple more moves.
I think what's getting us is our commentary is actually punishing us. Is if we solve it faster, do we get more points?
Oh, let's see.
Do a quick test. Yep. Check and then take the bishop.
Okay, I'm gonna do a couple more fast.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that theme I've seen a bunch in Puzzle Rush.
It is.
And there it is again.
Okay, you are right, I think. I think we need to stop talking. It's kind of interesting because,
Okay, pause. This
Pause.
I think is the clippable moment. Did Sabina say stop talking?
No!
I wanted that moment to be captured.
Wait, what?
Free piece? Queen takes? Oh, I'm getting support from the chat.
This is unfair. The chat is always supporting you, like.
Hey, I appreciate the chat. And feel free to jump in. Rook takes e2. Looks pretty good where the queen is gonna fall.
Yeah, I think we are getting way more points when we are solving faster. That's probably one of those things. This is one of my favorite mates. This is the dovetail mate. I thought it was called an X-ray mate, but apparently I was wrong.
Where do these names pop up? Because like I know the patterns from doing them for years, but I definitely don't know the names other than like the smothered mate, which is my favorite because it
Uh-huh.
makes me think of like growing up in Alabama and Waffle House and one of the options that you have for your
Hmm.
hash browns.
Hmm.
But
For your
smothered mate
options
get
that you
me
have for your what?
one of the options that you have for hash browns, like that they have different. Smothered is you get cheese on the hash browns. So
Oh,
they've got all these different terms, like if you want mushrooms, if you want chili, there's different things that you can add to the hash brown. So like first time I heard smothered mate, I think it was Bobby Fischer teaches chess. I was like, ooh, Waffle House. So
oh,
it's
wow,
amazing what
interesting.
we get culturally depending upon where we start playing chess.
That's something I did not know. I did not know that. No, I was calling this X-ray because to me, when I was describing this theme to my students, it was always about, well, how is it possible that this king cannot go there because nobody really controls that square in F3? And then I was explaining the kids, and then they got it and everything. And then I went at some point doing some puzzles on chess.com, and then I see here to the left side, it was written the theme, and it said dovetail. So then I went and I checked dovetail, and that was the definition of it. So I guess it looks like a dovetail. I don't know which one is the tail. This is the end. Sorry, the tail. I guess of the dove. That's I don't know. I don't know, but that is how it is. Whose turn is it?
I think it's mine. Bishop check, take the queen.
All right, discover check. And we reached 1,000. Now we can stop.